Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with the dedicated road solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The Advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed. You get injured, the Advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
Damn it. Away we go. Welcome to season 17, episode number 3613. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my cock, Montgomery, and you are the Men's Room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, a Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV time with Ted. Click, clack, drinkity-dry. All right, here we go. Florida man arrested at Waffle House after losing it because he wanted his bacon cooked right. Meanwhile, a woman gets a request for $4 after coffee date with a man who you could say is pretty tight. To Alabama, where a man accused of keeping meth-addicted attack squirrels goes to court. Florida man with fentanyl in a bag and needle says they're for fishing, and he enjoys the sport. And a Texas man tries to smuggle 2 men into the U.S. in a coffin. They said it was hard to breathe and hot in there. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, it is a question as old as time itself. You've asked yourself this question, but it bears repeating. What do potatoes, 30,000 pounds of diapers, 100 monkeys, Arnold Schwarzenegger raw sewage, an Oklahoma State wrestling star, and a limo with a stripper pole, plus a West Virginia TV reporter all have in common? Like I said, question as old as time itself. But we have the answer, ladies and gentlemen. Potatoes, 30,000 pounds of diapers, 100 monkeys, Arnold Schwarzenegger raw sewage, an Oklahoma State wrestling star, a limo with a stripper pole, and a West Virginia TV reporter have all been involved in a vehicular accident in the last week or so. Now, potatoes spilling out of an overturned truck closed down a Minnesota highway for hours. The problem, you see, is that the temperature was so cold that when the spuds hit the ground, they froze, they stuck, they caused accidents. Same scenario for a highway in Canada when a tractor trailer carrying 30,000 pounds of diapers flipped over. Now, in Pennsylvania, a dump truck collided with a truck that was hauling, you guessed it, 100 lab monkeys. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, he is okay after he was involved in a bad 4-car accident that left one person injured. And the early indications is that Arnold himself was at fault. In Florida, that same fault lies with the driver of a truck carrying 1,000 gallons of raw sewage. He ran a stop sign, hit a car, flipped the truck over, and left poop all over the road. The Oklahoma State wrestling star, that would be A.J. Ferrari, he was not driving a Ferrari, but he did try to pass 3 cars while cresting a hill in his Durango. It did not end well, as was evidenced when he was flown to the hospital via helicopter. Meanwhile, the limo with the stripper pole, well, it was the only vehicle involved in that crash. It somehow went off the roadway and into a Kentucky creek. And finally, the West Virginia TV reporter, that would be Tori, Yorgi, she was doing a live break on the side of the road when she was hit by an SUV. But believe it or not, she was okay. Besides, as she pointed out, she'd been hit by a car before when she was walking to college. It's all good. Look, man, accidents happen. We know this. There are crashes every day. Which leads us to believe you've either been involved in one or you've certainly witnessed one. And that's what today's question is. What is the craziest crash you've been in or witnessed?
Be part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Hey, all of it, Cholas, thank you so much for listening to the Men's Room podcast.
And thanks to our pals at the Advocates Law Firm for being great partners. Yes, even you, creepy Kyle.
Seriously, though, if you'd been injured as a result of somebody else in your car, on your bike, walking across the street, talk to our friends at the Advocates Law Firm and let them help you out.
Yeah, they're the best injury lawyers around, and they want to make sure that you're not taken advantage of. Plus, your first consultation is free.
It's simple. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
All right, let's clear this garage. Start a pile here for donations, one over here for recycling, and one more over here for trash. Hang on, what are you doing?
Recycling?
We may need that paint one day, and that can't be recycled.
First, this can looks older than me. And second, paintcare.org says you can.
Paintcare.org. Let me see. Oh, and there's a drop-off site close by. And it's free? Nice.
Dad, no.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
There we go, a brand new Shinedown, Planet Zero.
Yes, indeed.
All of it, Cholas, and away we go. Welcome to Season 17, Episode number 3613. What a large and in charge program we've got for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. Exciting return of Who Sucks Less.
Oh, yeah.
Steve, somehow, I don't know how you do it, but you bring us 3 stories from the news. Each and every week they suck, which is amazing that you can find just any kind of just bad news, but you do.
Yeah, we say it every week, man. You know, you go online, it's nothing but good news and unicorns and rainbows and stuff. But believe it or not, went through the very tiring process with a team of thousands around the world, and between all of us, we did find 3 people that kind of suck.
Get out of here.
Can you believe? I swear.
And it's up to us to determine out of the 3 which one sucks the least. So who sucks less coming up. Also, if you just joined us, we'll play that new Shinedown for you again. And we do have tickets to Slash with Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. We have made this too easy for you to have a chance to win. Yes, we have.
Apparently, it's a little harder than we think.
It's a little tricky the way you've been doing it. No, they say pick a different time every day, and then at that time, we will give you the secret word. And you head to KISW.com, and you put in the code word on the contest page. You have a chance to win those tickets and an autographed signed guitar from Slash, a Les Paul. So what we determined, the way to do this, the easiest time that we could possibly remember, that would be 4:20. So at 4:20 today, we will give you the secret word and a chance to win tickets to see Slash.
Will we? Yeah. Will we do that?
We will. That's why we use that time, because it's an easy time to remember.
Sure enough.
Only an idiot could forget.
Yeah, it's not like you do it at 4:58.
Pretty sure I've only forgotten like 3 times, right? Twice? 3 times?
None of us remembered. It was 4:58 yesterday. My life. Oh, God. Yeah.
Like people are texting in about exciting news with Mike and the new originals, and I'm just thinking
very excited.
And I look down because I'm thinking about a show, and I'm like, oh God, we forgot to give the code word for the tickets for the show.
See there, Mike? When people think of you, they think of Slash.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about live music. You know what I mean? I was like, oh God,
don't water it down for me.
We forgot to do it.
He is Slash epic.
Not that it's going to be live music when you're on stage. It'll be music, and it will be live.
It'll be both of those.
It'll be both of those. So I guess technically it will be live music to some degree. Hey, what else we got for you? Men's Room Happy Hour coming up on the Odyssey app exclusively as every Monday through Friday at 6. We head over to the Odyssey app for more Men's Room. It is the Men's Room Happy Hour. Keep in mind the same rules that apply on these airwaves do not on the Odyssey app. Therefore, it is more of an adult-only segment on the Men's Room, so to speak. So don't check that out with the kids in the car. If you don't have the Odyssey app, download it now. It's absolutely free. You'll want to search for the Men's Room Happy Hour, favorite that channel, and that channel only goes live when we go on the air Monday through Friday at 6. And today we're going to talk about getting involved in car crashes. Maybe you witnessed a crash. Maybe you were involved in a crash. I do think that one of the more unique aspects of life, which does not happen very often. I mean, every once in a while, you kind of experience something that's not normal. You know it to exist, but there is like when you drive real fast over a hump and you lose your stomach, like you ride. It happens every once in a while, you know?
Sure.
Okay? But the idea of time standing still and going into slow motion really seems to exist for me when I've been involved in car crashes.
Yeah, it's relativity, man. I mean,
it really is. I can't explain the phenomenon. I don't know why it happens. But the times I've been in accidents, it's like time just kind of stood still for a minute or things really slowed down.
But I think in any highly stressful situation, right? Mm-hmm. Like I've been punched in the face before, right? And to the outside person looking at it, the person who punched me did it rather quickly. Or I'm rather defenseless. But in my mind, you see them, like you have all these moments to move out of the way. But you don't. You know, any car accident you get into, people seem to remember everything leading up to the point that they pass it out.
Sure.
I saw the car doing this, but anyone that witnesses goes, this happened in like one Mississippi.
Right. And the other aspect of it, after that, is basically what you just said. You're going to get punched in the face. Now, if you don't get hit in the button and knocked out, then you're ready to go. And your adrenaline kicks in.
Sure.
So even though that probably is going to hurt, it's not going to hurt.
Not then.
Not then. It's going to hurt tomorrow.
Right.
And the same thing holds true with a car crash. You get in a car crash, you know, even when the EMTs, the ambulance comes up to the car, are you okay? Like, I'm fine. Do you need to go to the hospital? No, I'm fine. I mean, we tell you this all the time, hell, even on Advocates commercials. As far as if you get injured in a car crash, you might not know it at that time because your adrenaline is absolutely going a million miles an hour.
But isn't that the inherent problem with all things, right? When people talk about if a bear attacks you, if a shark attacks you and all this, and we say, like, right, you can tell people this. And some people respond accordingly, but in that moment, you don't reflect on things the way people tell you to.
Sure.
So they say, are you okay after an accident? And like you pop up, you're glad to be alive, you got to wiggle your arms and all. You go, man, I'm fine, right? And then at that point, you kind of screw yourself because you're right. The next morning you wake up, you can't move your head, your back hurts, your knee is swollen up, all these things. But at that time, you don't want medical attention because you're answering the question as they ask it. I'm great.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, that's why you talk about adrenaline dumps. That's why sports teams practice so much because at a certain point, even professional athletes, the adrenaline takes over. It's hard, but it's like, let's just go back, like focus on our training, especially when you watch combat sports. Like you'll see guys kind of get clipped in MMA and they go to the ground and their first thought is to take a shot on somebody and try to take them to the ground. Because you're just relying on training. Same thing. The adrenaline's flowing. You can't think. You don't have time to sit there and think.
You don't think at all. I mean, hell, when you got in the boxing ring, probably the same thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, the walk-in's a blackout because the adrenaline is so heavy.
And then,
which is crazy because that was the least activity, right? You were walking in, you walked by, but you're not jogging, you're not running, you're not showboating. You literally just walked into the boxing ring. And when we asked you about it later, you're like, I don't remember that.
Not at all.
I smashed my head into the steering wheel on my car.
Yeah.
So I had glasses on, and the glasses broke, and they cut my face. So I was bleeding, but it wasn't like it was crazy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's just the glasses cut my face. And so, but I smacked my head into the steering wheel pretty hard, and my belt did hold, so it was a whiplash motion, and I smacked it. And the guy's like, I said, look, I don't need to go to the hospital. I just need to go home. I said, I'm fine. I just need to go home. He's like, that's great. What's your address? And I went,
uh-oh.
My address. It's on my wallet. It's on my license. He's like, get in the ambulance. Let's go. He's like, you've been concussed. You've been knocked out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right.
I wouldn't even have thought to ask that question, but that makes sense.
Yeah. And I was
sure.
like, okay.
You'll go home. What's your address? I don't know.
Right. How are you going to get there? Your car is completely gone. You know what I mean? It's completely totaled. So what are you going to do now? And I'm just like, and the weird thing about it was, this is basically what happened. So think of like a think about like Aurora. Okay, so you've got 2 lanes, but in some places there's a little bit of a median in between.
Right.
There was a large snowstorm on a very similar road in Maryland, they call Ritchie Highway. And the snow was piled up like 4 or 5 feet on the side of the roads from where they plowed it. But they did have little areas where you could get between to make a U-turn or whatever. So the guy who pulled out in front of me, he could not see. He could not see down the street because the snowbanks were so high. So when he pulled his truck out, I was going 50 miles an hour in the fast lane, and I T-boned his ass into his, thank God, into his wheel well. Because this guy had a truck that was pretty well jacked up.
Right.
And I was driving a Nissan Sentra. So, like, if you look at the angle, I basically would have gone under the undercarriage of his truck at 50 miles an hour, and the door would have been coming right in my face. Mm-hmm. So it's lucky I hit his wheel well.
And you still would have said, I'm fine.
I'm good. I'm good,
dude.
Nissan's in great shape. You know what I mean?
Sir, your arm is 100 yards behind it.
Yeah.
Just give it to me. I'll take it home. I'm good.
Right. And then, of course, I totaled the car, so I have to go get a new car. So I'm like, well, I like the Nissan Sentra. I'll go get another Nissan Sentra. So I go in there, and the first thing this guy says to me is, you're not going to believe it. It's now got airbags. I'm like,
it now does.
It's got airbags now, huh? He's like, yeah, first year, first model. It's got airbags in the Sentra. I'm like, it's got airbags, huh? Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I have never been in a wreck with an airbag, though. I mean, since that point in time, I've had a car with an airbag. I have not been in a driver's seat accident where an airbag was deployed. I have driven past accidents where I could see the airbag had been deployed. But I've never had that experience.
Me neither.
I know a bunch of people that have, but I don't think I have. Because last time I got rear-ended, I was in the back seat.
That's what I'm saying. The wreck that I was in the back. The last one I was in, I was a passenger of the car.
Yeah.
So I have no idea, but still crazy. What is the craziest crash that you've been in or witnessed? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Jacob. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
All right, so I was living down in Oregon, Eugene, Springfield area, and we were working 12 on, 12 off, and we were on our way to work at 1 a.m. My coworker was driving, and he had stayed up all night the night before, and I was on my phone, and I happened to look up, and we were supposed to be going around a corner, and instead of going around the corner, he was going straight. So I yelled his name, and then I grabbed the wheel. He woke up, overcorrected, and sent us completely sideways at 75 miles per hour. As we're going sideways, we go towards this embankment, and I didn't know it at the time, but it was a 15, 20-foot embankment that goes into a river. And so we went off the embankment. I just remember in that moment, just like you guys were saying, it was like slow motion. I saw a maple leaf hit the windshield, and then all of a sudden, we just nosedive into the river. The airbags go off. We didn't have our seatbelts on, and the sunroof was open because we were smoking cigarettes, and his window didn't roll down. Well, it went over on the side of the vehicle, and we both stand up. We didn't get knocked out. He went out the sunroof first, and then holds onto the roof rack, reaches his arm back in, grabs me, pulls me out, and I hold onto the roof rack. And we're just standing there, and it's pitch black, and we're just like, what do we do? And thank God one of the coworkers that was following us happened to notice that we went off the side of the road, and he came down the embankment, and it was like as if he was Superman. He just came down so quick, and I swam over to him. My buddy Steven swam over to him, and we climbed up the embankment, and it was just the craziest thing I've ever experienced.
How cold was the water?
It was... So in the moment, I didn't realize. I don't know. I can't tell you what it felt like.
I'm just wondering. I mean,
well, now,
I don't want to do that.
Did your coworker physically see you guys off the road?
No, so he didn't ever actually see it. He just noticed that we weren't within viewing distance of where we should have been. So he saw the skid marks, and then he figured it out and was shining the flashlight.
See, the reason I was asking is because, you're describing the scenario where you end up in the water, it's pitch black. So obviously, and that part of Oregon is obviously desolate. And I'm thinking in my head, me and Miles are driving down the street. I did not see you go off the road, and I just see off the side of the road down by a river, there's some activity. The last thing I'm doing is stopping to go check it out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the guy that got kicked out of the Scooby-Doo gang. So he saw the marks and all that and pieced it together. How deep was this river?
It was I'm about 5'8", and it was up to my neck.
Jesus, man. Yeah. So if the sunroof had not have been open, Would you guys have had to do the roll down the window thing and wait for the car to pressurize?
See, that's the crazy part, too. I don't even know. I feel like it would have been enough air in there that we could have figured it out, but you just never know.
Well, it doesn't sound like the truck hit anything. So in the case that it goes in the river, is the truck totaled? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, the truck was completely totaled.
Okay, all right. I didn't know. Well, because sometimes they'll say you don't want to buy a car because it was in a flood. Or, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. But the car's still on the lot. You know what I mean? I'm wondering if...
It's odd to have a car in a lot that you're telling people not to buy. But I would think you just wouldn't put it on the lot. But, yeah, I think once your car is 100% submerged in liquid, it's not the car for me.
Yeah, it feels like it's done.
Okay.
Just the feeling.
I mean, it makes logical sense. I just wondered, what do you do?
All right, you can put a boat in the driveway. The boat's fine.
And
put a car in the river. Nobody wants it.
They're going to tow the damn thing out of there. They have to. They have to get a crane or something and pull that thing up.
I mean, you're right. You're not going to leave it in the river.
Well, yeah.
Did you guys hear about the U.S. fighter jet that crashed off of the coast of China?
Uh-huh.
So basically what happened was, tried to land on an aircraft carrier. I'm not sure if the cord didn't hold, or I know some people were injured on deck. The pilot ejected.
Right.
Which tells me that the plane went off the front of the boat, more than likely. But anyway, so I don't know the status of the sailors or the pilot, but I know that the airplane was millions of dollars, like $100 million or something, right?
It was an F-35 stealth.
It goes to the bottom of the ocean. Now they're trying to get that thing out of there.
Before China does.
Because the technology on that plane is, so high tech.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want anybody else having it. So,
of course.
Now they're going to try to, you think getting that truck out of a canal or a river is a big deal. I don't know how deep the ocean is there. But deep. You know for a fact they got a submarine down there guarding that mother.
Oh, hell yeah.
Up until they can figure out how to get it up.
Yeah, that's a massive deal.
Well, say when we were younger, living in Rochester, we had an ugly ass Volkswagen bus, and I just remember my father saying, "Hold on." So I grabbed the back of his seat. Basically, we were avoiding a crash that had already happened. All right, but the cops weren't there; they hadn't lit flares or anything. So you kind of see this last second. Same general thing. Went over like a 6-foot embankment, but again, the snow's covering it, so the Volkswagen bus tips sideways. This isn't funny. I thought it was funny at the time, but my father's like, "Is everyone okay?" And my feet are dangling, but I'm still holding the back of his headrest. I'm like, I'm cool. My mom's cool. He's cool. Can't find my brother for a second. Well, apparently when my dad said, hold on to something, my brother chose not to. And we couldn't find, and he somehow got catapulted all the way to the back. He was okay.
Right.
But just the look of disgust on his face. But anyway, we get out of the car, and again, it wasn't cool. My dad was in a very bad mood, as you might imagine. But we opened the driver's side door, but it's facing straight up. So it's where your sunroof should be. And I remember thinking at the time as a kid, I'm like maybe 10 or 11, this is kind of cool, because I had to put my foot on the side of the driver's seat, and he reaches his hand in. I got my other foot on the steering wheel. That's a cool way to get out of a car. Whatever. Some friends come to pick us up so we can go somewhere warm. My father's gone another 3 hours. Finally gets back, and he goes, they finally sent a tow truck out to try to get the Volkswagen bus out of the ditch. But it's so slick and so icy, the tow truck couldn't do it. It ended up sliding into the ditch. So they had to wait for the mother of all tow trucks. This is the biggest goddamn vehicle I've ever seen to pull both of them out.
What is the craziest crash that you've been in or witnessed? 206-421-ROCK.
Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with a dedicated row of solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The Advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed.
You get injured, the Advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
All right, let's clear this garage. Start a pile here for donations, one over here for recycling, and one more over here for trash. Hang on, what are you doing?
Recycling?
We may need that paint one day, and that can't be recycled.
First, this can looks older than me. And second, paintcare.org says you can.
Paintcare.org. Let me see. Oh, and there's a drop-off site close by. And it's free? Nice.
Dad, no.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
So, this is kind of a bizarre thing. All right, so we told you about the truck with an enclosed trailer full of 100 monkeys.
Yeah.
That collided with a dump truck in Montour County, Pennsylvania. Well, they had, the trailer was full of 100 monkeys, and 4 of the monkeys basically got out, all right? They did end up capturing all 4 of the monkeys. They got 3 right away. Then they found 1 later on, like...
Well, they put 2 down, I think, and then found the other 2. I guess they found all 4. 2 of them were shot.
So listen to this. So a woman, she witnessed the crash on Friday night. She ended up face-to-face with one of the monkeys and is now receiving treatment as a precaution. I thought I was doing the right thing by helping. I had no idea it would turn out this way. That from Michelle Fallon. She says she stopped to help the driver of the truck on I-80 near Danville and then ended up peering into a crate where she found a rather upset macaque who hissed at her. Initially, she thought they were cats.
Correct.
But in fact, it was these monkeys, all right? Well, apparently, the woman, in fact, received a face full of respiratory droplets from the monkey.
Droplets, back in the news.
That hissed at her. So she grew concerned because she started to get a mild fever, a cough, a runny nose. She got pink eye in both eyes, and then started Googling about infection risks.
Right.
That's what sent her to basically the hospital, was she started to worry. Well, she was right. According to the CDC, those monkeys commonly spread herpes virus B through saliva, feces, and urine. I was close to the monkeys. I touched the crate. I walked through their feces. So I called to inquire, was I safe? They said no.
No, you're not.
Come on into the hospital. We got to give you some antibiotics and some drugs.
You think she got herpes? More than likely. Think about that. So now you have to have this conversation like, hey, I have herpes. I'm not here to judge. No, let me tell you how I got them. There was an accident with monkeys, and basically it spit in my face.
Yeah, just went to see if the driver was okay.
That's
a
terrible
story.
Jesus. It is. And does that rank up there? I got bitten in half by a shark. Is that one of these legacy stories, or is it one we want to avoid?
Oh, no. I'm just being bitten in half by a shark. Like nobody wants to die. I'm just trying to think of a badass way to die. Like, you just got herpes. Not even the fun way.
You didn't even have sex.
But you still have
you had a monkey spit.
But you still have to have the herpes conversation with somebody, especially if you're single.
Do you leave that part out?
How you got it? Probably.
I would feel better telling it came from a hissing
monkey.
What do you mean?
What kind of herpes did you get? Well, I got monkey herpes.
Right. Say, hey, man, I've used a condom. I've always practiced safe sex. Odd thing, I ended up getting herpes when a monkey hits my face.
Let's be honest. When people say herpes, they're talking about genital herpes.
Of course.
I know, almost everybody I know gets a cold sore, which you're correct, is part of the herpes virus. Right. When people say herpes, they're talking about the junk.
Right. But I'm saying, if you had herpes junk and it came from the monkey, I would be happier to tell them that.
It's got to be the same thing, right? I mean, it's got to be
the same virus.
It's got to be the exact same virus, or it wouldn't have the same name.
Sure.
So in other words, they say koalas have chlamydia.
Correct.
It's got to be the same chlamydia we get, right?
I plan on finding out.
I mean, strain for strain, correct? It's not just koala chlamydia. It's not because
they don't say koala chlamydia, and they would say koalas.
They would call it
have chlamydia.
They would call it something else.
Yeah, just like koala chlamydia.
But it's very similar to chlamydia. But no, they're saying it's straight up chlamydia.
Because there's like feline leukemia, which is different than our leukemia. So they add feline to say, hey man, this is all theirs, right?
So who had the herpes first, humans or monkeys? In other words, where did this originate?
We always blame the monkey.
We always blame the animal,
but we know how people are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't hear about dogs trying to have sex with people, but there's plenty of stories about people having sex with dogs.
And they don't cross-pollinate the same way. So, for an example, Ted, let's just say that you have a cold sore.
Okay.
And we hook up.
All right.
Now, when we're kissing, you could possibly give me herpes.
Correct.
All right. But if we were kissing, they're not the same. So one,
Right.
if I had a cold sore and I hooked you up, you know what I mean? You're not going to get it down there.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you know that? I don't know that. I don't know. You have cold sore in your mouth, and we trade oral favors.
Last time I was like kind of dating somebody,
I
and
don't
I
think
had
so.
I had a cold sore. I just was like, well, I guess you just have to do the work.
Well, it's not a bad
That
strategy.
sounds harsh.
It's not a bad strategy.
No,
in general.
not at all.
But I was like, I can't kiss you anywhere.
You sound like a romantic. Hey, it's all you today.
Why don't you just wear a mask? You know what I mean? Call it a day.
Well, that wouldn't help her at all.
Ted just threw his hands behind his head, spread his legs, hop to it.
Wonder if anyone's had sex with a mask on during this.
Oh,
For sure.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, people have sex without kissing.
People have sex with masks on whether there's a pandemic or not.
And then they don't use a condom.
Right. Cover my face, but
You're probably right.
Exactly.
Be safe.
Yeah, right. What is the craziest crash that you've been in or witnessed? 206-421-ROCK.
6 feet.
Were you doing herpes research there for us,
I
Mike?
tried to do the herpes research, and they're talking about the monkey B virus when it comes to monkey herpes, but I decided to jump in there because you were asking if the chlamydia strain was the same in koalas and humans.
Yeah.
No, it is not.
It's not.
The strain of chlamydia that infects koalas is not the same that infects humans, but is sexually transmitted in the same way. Genetic evidence from the chlamydia bacteria suggests that koalas were infected by the disease through transmission from livestock, specifically sheep.
So maybe the monkey herpes is a different kind of herpes.
I believe it is, yes.
So wait a minute. They think koalas got it from sheep.
Yes.
What does that tell us about what's going on in
Koalas are
Australia?
freaky.
Yeah. I like that woolly ass mama.
They're soft and cuddly.
Yeah.
Well, don't say, I mean, look, the worst part is that a human had sex with that sheep to start this.
So you still think it still comes from people?
Oh, listen, like cowboys out on the range with just the two of them. Those stories are same about what do you call it? Herd? It's not a herder. What's that? The shepherd.
Shepherd.
The shepherd.
People get lonely out there with them sheep.
You think the shepherd had sex with the sheep, gave the sheep chlamydia, and then... Okay, all right, okay. But now, so I understand how the sheep got chlamydia. Let's just say there's that chlamydia shepherd, okay? And he has sex with the sheep. Fine. Now, who is responsible for the koala transmission? Did the koala approach the sheep like, give it up, or did the sheep say, I'm getting some koala ass?
Who's bigger?
The sheep.
Now
you say the sheep took it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Damn.
No.
Well, but you're right. The sheep probably got it from a human.
Look, dude, I'm not kidding. Those stories, like shepherds are known, well, not known for this, but it's a thing.
Huh.
I don't know why. Like dolphins and sheep are the animals I hear most often with humans sexual with.
Well, dolphins, they don't give you a choice, apparently. Like, if you hit them in the right spot, they're
don't pet there.
Oh, this is happening. Mm-hmm. By the way, Miles, someone says Miles is incorrect. You can get genital herpes if someone with a cold sore does, in fact, perform on you.
That's what I thought.
All right. So if they kiss you, you maybe get the cold sore in your mouth or whatever. But if they go downtown to the Flavor District,
well, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm just kidding.
And then it looks like this herpes B virus is actually specific to monkeys. It's an alpha herpes virus that is particularly endemic in
so this woman in Pennsylvania has got monkey herpes.
We can get it. They can give it to us, and I think that there was one guy that died last year.
What I'm saying is nothing from a monkey is ever good.
No.
So this herpes is not going to be your run-of-the-mill
Well, I
herpes.
don't want any kind of herpes. Even like the best herpes. I don't want like a cold sore, right? We would all agree. Probably the best herpes to have. You're never celebratory that you have a cold sore. You're still not happy about it. You put monkey in front of anything. I'm like, I don't know, man. Except maybe monkey bread.
Yeah.
Oh, God, monkey bread's good.
Right? But you put monkey in front of anything else, it just makes it work.
Monkey bars.
Monkey wrench.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
Monkey glue? Is there a monkey glue? Or that's gorilla glue?
That's monkey glue.
Monkey glue.
Gorilla glue, man.
Close enough.
Man, the first time
glue is the strong.
Same family.
The first time I heard gorilla glue, I was like, that's not real.
I don't think it was either.
Yeah.
Then I saw the commercial. I thought that was a parody.
Very, very loud voice of God says monkey business.
Monkey business.
Monkey business.
But
monkeying around.
If someone's committing monkey business, it's not the worst, but you're annoyed. Right? Because teachers and parents bitch about your monkey business.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
but it's not horrible.
It could also be sex.
Monkey business?
Yeah,
Monkey around? I know.
Yeah, maybe monkey around.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then monkey wrench, you know. Yeah.
What is the craziest crash you've been in or witnessed? 206-421-ROCK.
Barrel of?
Monkeys. All right. Sea monkeys, fine.
But,
Hello, Tanner. Welcome to the men's room.
What's up, Tanner?
Hola, guys.
Hola.
Miles, have you bought an air fryer yet?
I have not.
Come on, man.
Gosh, you're missing out, man.
I know.
They are awesome.
Okay.
Don't have the counter space.
Nobody does.
I know.
I certainly don't. I was like, I'll put it away after I use it. Lies.
I just push the coffee maker back into the corner.
I just cook everything in there.
So the worst crash that I was ever in is a friend and I were going a little bit way too fast. Ted, I think you're familiar with Indianola.
Oh, I am, yeah.
Yeah. We were going out some of those windy roads, and we just caught a little, when it's like that roller coaster feeling. I was in the passenger seat because I obviously wasn't going to be driving. And that roller coaster feeling when you get just that little bit of lift, and it kind of feels like you feel in your seat like you're lifting up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, we're going pretty fast. And then I looked over, and he had no control after that, and we were going sideways into a corner, and then all of a sudden, next thing I know, I saw just a telephone pole.
Ooh.
But thankfully, it was going into his side because I was the passenger, and he went he turned hard to the right. We skidded that way and went right into the telephone pole and sheared it off. But I'll never forget just the whole aftermath was just hilarious because we were in a Saturn. And a Saturn is completely made out of like all plastic and just fiberglass. And it literally looks like some kid went out and just threw a bunch of Legos across the whole road for like 100 yards. And I just looked at him and I went, well, my house is about a mile down the road and the car's not my name. So it's in your name. And I'm out of here, dude. You're going to have to take care of this. And then I just walked home.
You just left them there, man.
Oh, well, I'm not going to. What can I was on probation.
Oh, okay.
Those some tight roads, dude. Indianola's not big.
I will say that if you're on probation, the first thing I would say is get out of here before anyone shows up, right?
Yeah, I was like, dude, I'm out of here. And it was not like we had any drugs or anything like that. I just had a couple of beers a little earlier, but I was just a passenger. And I'm like, man, the car is in your name, and it's, this is your responsibility now. And if you need any help, I'll try to get a tow truck or try to help you out and, figure this out. But,
did he sustain any injuries?
Oh, yeah, we both broke. I broke 2 ribs.
Jesus.
I had this weird elbow injury because when I slammed into the center console. And black eye, the airbag went off because I saw it coming and I put my hands up, which was the first mistake, and the airbag went off and it blew my thumb straight into my eye. It's just like the airbag just like punched me right in my face because I put my hand up and it was just a dead shot right into my face. It was, but yeah, so that's why I was like, dude, I'm out of here, man. You got to take care of it.
Damn.
I'm not, yeah. But yeah, that was it, guys. I love you. Take care.
Hey, right on, man.
Man, my brother had a Saturn. 2 things. It ran forever.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is, it was made out of plastic. We used to kick it all the time. That was like their thing. You could kick it. The dent would come out.
I knew a chick that had a Saturn. And man, she'd had, I guess it was like a hand-me-down from her parents, whatever. It seemed to me that it had been on the road longer than it should have, but she never had any problems. But she even said, the secret to maintaining your Saturn is not to hit anything. She's like, you will die in this car. But she's like, so no accidents, the thing will keep running. But she's like, man, if you hit a pothole too hard, half your goddamn car is disintegrated on the side. By the way, as far as positive monkey stuff, people throw out chunky monkey ice cream. Ooh, that's a fair one. That is fair. Okay. I apologize for assuming that all things associated with monkey were bad. They've come up with some strong. I'm like, the chunky monkey ice cream.
I'm still thinking about that monkey bread.
What is monkey bread? It's bread made out of real monkeys.
Right, and you just pull it apart.
So it's like a challah?
It's like sweet bread. It's got like an icing on it?
Or something. But it's like a bunch of little bread balls kind of stuck together.
Put together, you just kind of pick it off.
You'd love it, man.
You never had it?
You probably had it and don't know.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that?
No.
Yeah, we're looking at a picture now. Oh, dude,
man. Oh, hell yeah. God, that looks really good.
It looks nothing like a monkey.
I know.
I'd have picked a different name for it. But
where does one get monkey bread? Do you have to have someone who makes it for you? Or, I can't go to the grocery store and get monkey bread.
I think you can. On occasion, man.
I don't know. I don't know that I've seen it a ton in the Northwest. But like in the D.C. area, like that was like a thing you had at like family get-togethers, whatever. It's like monkey bread.
So it's almost like...
Let's not comment on it. We both just had a revelation.
What? Yes, tell me.
I know.
Give me the code word. What?
Canadians.
Yeah. But there is restaurant. Like, you go to the Green Turtle, they have it as I don't know where you can buy it in the Northwest.
Okay. All right. Jesus.
Brass Monkey. I know, dude. As soon as you said that, I'm like, oh. Brass Monkey.
Oh, now you bring up Brass Monkeys?
And apparently there's a monkey butt powder. A lot of people are saying that.
Oh, people swear by monkey butt.
Is it just like Gold Bondish kind of thing, or?
It is. But like Gold Bond is like, hey, you might have some chafing, whereas monkey butt powder is like, you're swampy.
Right. Okay. Oh. You disgusting.
What is the craziest crash you've been in or witnessed? 206-421-ROCK.
We should do a quick poll. You ever had monkey breath?
Guess where it came from?
Mike?
No. Okay. Yep. The things you learn. Hello, Chucky. Welcome to the men's room. Hola.
You know, guys, I think this is where the phrase monkey see, monkey do came in.
All right.
So earlier you guys were talking about how, getting punched in the face and the whole adrenaline kicking in and everything.
Sure.
So it's basically evolutionary instinct, for fight or flight.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
They have a medical name, too. Acute stress disorder. I guess they got a disorder everything. Well, anyway, so my story is, before I was going to graduate, my dad had got me a car because I had saved half the money and he put in half the money. So I got a Lancer. And so I was going to graduate Saturday, so I had made plans that, I'm going to pick up all my buddies and, take them to the graduation in my car and blah, blah. So I got the car Thursday, and Friday I was hanging out, and a Corvette, he cut me off. And before the Lancer, I used to drive my dad's car. It was a Galant, and, the steering wheel is super, super tight. And with the Lancer, it's super touchy-feely. And he cut me off, and I cut 4 lanes, and I hit a guardrail and messed up my car within 24 hours of me getting in my car.
Damn. Ta-da! 24 hours.
24 hours. And so I was so freaked out. So I told my dad that I had parked my car at a H-Mart, and somebody hit the car. And, I called him, distressed, and I didn't know what to do. So, I fake cried. And as soon as I started fake crying, he got super, sympathetic. It's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll go and see the cameras and see, if they caught it on camera.
Uh-oh.
And things have no camera.
Well, you got lucky on that one, man.
So did he buy you the car?
They split it half and half.
Oh, okay. All right.
I like with every story, when you're younger, it's like it has nothing to do with the accident. It has nothing to do with injuries. It's my parents are going to kill me.
Yep.
By the way, Miles, according to everyone, you can get monkey bread in the frozen section of pretty much every goddamn grocery store. I mean, if you're just looking for
in the frozen dessert section?
So they're saying Costco, Walmart, and then someone says basically you can get it anywhere. And by the way, it's made from frozen white bread loaves, cinnamon, brown or white sugar, and butter. You bake it. That's it.
Yeah, I knew it was like a bread pudding thing.
So it's not already made. Cheap. You actually put it.
Well,
in
they're saying
oven.
if you I guess in the frozen section, yeah.
But I would just go get a frozen one.
Yeah, I'm not making it from scratch, man. But try you some monkey bread. Right. And then someone says, it seems to me that overwhelmingly monkey stuff is positive. Yeah, okay. I messed up.
Monkey Loft. Great spot to see some DJs.
I just don't want monkey herpes. All right, I started with that and assumed all monkeys were bad.
Does anybody?
What is the craziest crash you've been in or witnessed? 206-421-ROCK.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
All right, let's clear this garage. Start a pile here for donations, one over here for recycling, and one more over here for trash. Hang on, what are you doing?
Recycling?
We may need that paint one day, and that can't be recycled.
First, this can looks older than me. And second, paintcare.org says you can.
Paintcare.org. Let me see. Oh, and there's a drop-off site close by. And it's free? Nice.
Dad, no.